Lyrics and Lies.
You just want me to go first, but I'm not. But you know, y'all, it's Shayz on the mic.
Money Green with the mint in his mouth. So it may sound like both of us have braces for the next couple of minutes.
Ooh.
So.
Did you offer me a mint?
No, would you like one?
Yes, I would.
You can eat mints with the braces?
Yes, I can.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll offer you one when we get done. After the show. So.
The after party.
This R. Kelly situation brings up something. And this is not 100% about R. Kelly, but this is using R. Kelly as an example. Artists should look to R. Kelly's money situation as an example of what not to do. Think about this. R. Kelly has generated probably over $1 billion. Not personally earned, but he has generated over $1 billion. What does he have to show for? Because he has less than $100,000 in cash.
Does artists even have cash? Because I thought they have that black card. So are they really have cash?
Well, speaking of him, we're talking about his earnings and those artists who earn a lot of money and how they can burn through it. So you have this man who generated over $1 billion, but he was supposed to be worth about, I think experts say he should be worth about $300 million. $300 to $400 million. So that's almost $500 million. He should have close to in property, cash, any other thing, diamonds. But of course you have the flossing with the cars.
If they're yours.
And money is definitely wasted on cars, money is wasted on clothing, but of course R. Kelly has went through all that. But getting into the millions and millions and millions, this man has lost so much money on lawsuits and settling cases out of court. So when we see a lot of new artists, whether it's hip hop, R&B artists, even the athletes, young basketball players, and they're buying up everything, Jordan tennis shoes, LeBron tennis shoes, and they're stacking them up. I've seen some athletes bragging that they have over 300 pair of tennis shoes. And those shoes cost about $200 to $300 a pair. And they're bragging about that as if that's really gonna last them. But it's almost like a drug, because you do all this shopping or spending and you look up and your money's gone and your career's gone. So just like R. Kelly's career is pretty much done, artists spend a lot of money, and I don't mean those who fake it till they make it. I'm talking about those who just get on and just start getting a lot of this money rolling in. They do a lot of major splurging, putting them dollars out there. So you get $1 million. Miss Shayz
you know
on the mic.
I'm gonna be frugal.
You get $1 million. Okay, and you have a child, you have a family, you have responsibilities, but that money can go out of your pocket fast. So you have $1 million, what do you do with it?
Invest.
Going fast. Going fast, come on.
Invest it.
How much?
How much I'm gonna invest? Probably a third.
So $333,000 going to investments. So you have $666,000. What are you doing with that?
Well, me, per se, I'll probably do a little spending,
What are you doing?
Splurge.
What are you doing?
I'm a splurge on some things I want, shoes, a few clothing.
That's
I wouldn't do all the car
That's
thing.
$5,000 or $10,000.
I wouldn't do no car thing. I would probably have 2 cars, because you get the people who are regular Joes. We've seen what the people who do with all this money, how they run through it. So you'll be more frugal with yours than they would.
We'll give you $10,000 for.
Oh,
hold on. We'll give you $10,000 for shoes and your clothes. That's a safe amount.
Right.
So now you're down to $659,000.
I'll buy me a house.
How much is your house? How big of a house?
Not big, because it's just me.
Okay, what's the price of it?
Let's see. Maybe I don't know. 300.
300,000? That's a decent price. That's a decent price. You paying cash for it?
I'm paying that all.
You paying a house off? All right.
Get that. I ain't got
So I heard that. 659. All right. So now you're at $359,000. What you doing with that?
2 cars.
How much a day?
So I'm gonna be modest about my cars.
All right. So the first one is
One modest and one maybe I'll splurge. Maybe
Splurge
I'll get
how
a
much?
Lexus.
so Lexus what? 40 to 50,000.
Maybe so.
All right. So you get 309,000 and the cheap car,
I'm gonna get a Toyota Camry.
brand new.
Now we gonna get a used.
You can get a used car.
Yeah.
You had $1 million
That's for
come
my
in, you get a
child.
used
For my
car
child.
for your child.
Used.
All right. So
I
what?
gotta show- I gotta teach
9,000.
them something.
9,000.
There you
All right. So you're down to $300,000. You did good, Shayz. What you gonna do with that?
I'm gonna put it in the bank.
I hope your mother's listening.
Oh, I gotta get some to my mother.
Oh my.
Sorry,
Oh.
Mom. I'll give her some money.
How much you giving her?
How much I got left now?
You got 300,000.
I'll give her 200.
You gonna give mom's 200,000?
Yeah.
Nah, you the bomb. You are generous. Hey, she gonna have a good. Now you know that gives her more cash than you.
I gave her more than me.
I'm saying she has more than, so you really love.
Okay,
your
give her
mother.
half.
All right,
back
so
up,
so
yeah.
all right, thank
Half,
you,
half,
thank you.
half.
So 150 to your mother.
Yeah.
All right, then that's good and that's sensible. So that leaves you with $150,000. And what you gonna do with that?
I'm gonna get some to my son.
How much?
Just 20.
20. Now you're supposed to go to college. You gonna or
We'll
school
see
or
about
something.
that.
All right,
He
so
might
you're
be
down to
going to trade
130. What about your brother?
I'll give him some too.
How much?
He's gonna get the same as my son.
For real?
Yeah,
All
20.
right. He was there. I knew you longer than you. You give him that. All right, so you're down to 110,000.
Dang, really?
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Oh yeah, you're down to 110,000.
I might get some to my dad.
How much you giving him? You ain't giving him as much as your son and your brother.
Well,
Definitely not as much as your mother.
he gonna get the same as the kid. He gonna get the same as Danya. My
All
brother,
right.
My son.
So, Shayz on the mic had $1 million of cash come in, and she's down to $90,000. What's your next move?
Ooh. I mean, I might save that because you never know when you need it for a rainy day.
You gonna save the entire 90? No vacations?
Oh, I ain't think about that.
You don't have to go on vacation.
I'm gonna take a vacation.
Okay, how much?
We ain't doing a big vacation like that. 15.
15. You don't think that's big? So Shayz on the mic,
Lord.
who had $1 million, is now down to $75,000. Next move.
Uh-oh. You know, when he clears his throat, something about to come next.
Nah, take off my coat. Clear my throat.
Okay.
Rock him to God. $75,000 left. Going to the bank?
I'm going to give 15 to charity.
Oh my goodness. Tax write-off charity?
There you go.
All right. So you're down to $60,000. And $1 million 60 days
Put that
ago.
in the bank.
And you're down to 60. So 60K in the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about artists who get a lot of money. We're talking about how R. Kelly has under $100,000 after all the money he's earned over his career, and how athletes, comedians, celebrities, music artists, rappers, whatever, how they splurge money and they end up being broke. So Shayz on the mic is an example of the kind of person that would go broke. And
I put
after
some money in
hold on. After this conversation, it will not happen. All right. See, I just let her go wild. I even said it will be over a 60-day period. Now, Shayz on the mic had $1 million. At this point, all she has to show for it is a house, because everything else is going to depreciate. Her 2 cars are going to depreciate, but she has a house that she bought for $300,000, and she has $60,000 in the bank. Now, guess what Shayz on the mic didn't do that she was supposed to do that's going to crash her entire program? When you make $1 million, you had to pay approximately 1/3 of that to the IRS.
Well, didn't I say something? Didn't I give a third to something?
No.
Yes, I did.
You
Who did I give a
gave
third to?
$15,000 to charity as a tax write-off.
A third I put into
You said investments.
right. There you go.
Okay. Well, we
so
don't know.
Remember, I got investments.
We don't know
going
what
on.
that return is going to be.
Oh, it's gonna be high returns.
It's going to be high returns. Well, at this point, the IRS is coming to Shayz on the mic for $333,000, and you only have $60,000.
I can go into my investments and give her that.
Yes, but you're going to probably lose money. As a matter of fact, you're definitely going to lose money unless you hit it big on something major, because normally when you invest, it takes time to collect, like for the money to actually build up interest and all that takes a while.
Okay, first of all, that daggone taxes should have came off the top.
But you should have said that. So
You knew that.
I knew it, but this is an example of how people go broke. Now, just imagine if you had $400,000, maybe these amounts would go higher. Like you said, you gave half to your mother at some point. Yeah, but this is how people fall into the trap because you have so much money. So thinking about it now, because we did a little rapid fire, so you had to think fast. Of course, you didn't have time to really write things down and think about it. $1 million in cash down to $60,000 in cash, you would probably slap yourself if you really did that in 30 or 60 days.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that in 60 days, but because we was thinking fast.
But instinctively,
I was just
this is what
thinking.
people do when that money hits their account. They're like, oh, it's party time. And you hear it from so many different artists.
Yeah. But you know what I would do? I would have mine set up so that I would get so much a month. So I wouldn't get all that that money at one time.
Right.
You know, I would get it over time so I can, almost like a spending allowance.
Right.
That's what I probably would do.
And they have that available, and you can actually collect interest on those type of accounts. But you didn't do that.
Okay, I didn't say that because you said it so fast I didn't get a chance to think about it.
That's what most people do.
I need to start doing this to Money Green because Money Green gets
Well,
me
you can
all
do
the
it to me
time,
now.
y'all. He does this to me all the time.
You can put me in that same situation
I'm not
now.
gonna do it right now.
All right, but let me tell you what I would do.
But tell us what you would do.
And I'm not talking about the 22-year-old me like you just displayed, because you just did the 22-year-old Shayz on the mic. the 22-year-old Money Green definitely was splurged, but I know if I had $1 million, my mindset back then, I would have kept $100,000 in the bank, and I probably would have paid the taxes because I remember my father. The only time I've ever seen him rattled was over the IRS. My father's like a man's man. He's the type of dude that you say the wrong thing, and I don't mean just me, I mean somebody in the street. Somebody say the wrong thing to him, he's ready to swing on him, period. He's real brave and all that. But this IRS situation came up and his voice trembled because they hit his pockets. I think for like 8 or 9 years in a row, they just got him in this little trick bag and they was really messing with his money, and it wasn't child support. So that was, and I saw that at 18. So I would immediately pay if I knew I could pay early. If not, I would have put money aside for him. Just because of that stuck with me. You see, I'm bringing it up now. That was 15, 20 years ago. But I would, and have a child like you, I would put money away for his school, and that would probably be $100,000. Because I'm thinking $80,000 for a school, 20 for incidentals, and he may get on my damn nerves. So 100 together for a school.
Doing that now.
100 together for a school, definitely, but it's not costing as much. Probably 300 for a house, like you said. I would love to pay it off early, but I don't know if that's possible.
Maybe it's possible.
I'm holding back on the investments. Actually, I would hold back on the house. That would be a purchase that I wait out. to really try to find something. It wouldn't be a rush. And I think a car, probably a $60,000 sports car. And that's it. If I do a vacation, it's going to be about $10,000.
I think you should always have 2 cars because you never know what may happen.
Yeah, I have a car now. I have that cheap car that you were talking about.
I
have my runaround car. And then I have a sports car.
I would still have 2 cars. One for...
you have 3 because you have yours and then you had the 2 that you bought. I would have 2. I have mine and then the one I would get. And
I'm keeping my pickup truck.
All right, and am I giving my sibling anything? No, I ain't giving my sibling nothing. I might buy him some cigars.
Why are you not gonna give your sibling nothing?
He don't need nothing.
Oh my God.
He's straight.
What about your mother?
My mother, I would tell my mother that I will pay for a destination or some type of vacation that she wants to go on. Or I can pay off a bill that she doesn't want there. Because if you pay off a bill, a person's gonna just come up with a new place to spend that money. So if you pay off a person's house, they may go get a bigger house. So they say, okay, now that I don't have this house note, now I can buy this car. But that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm giving them the money. Get my little sweetheart maybe $100,000 so she could do her thing. And that's it. Because my son, I can give him, outside of that school savings, I give him $1,000, he'd lose his mind. Take him to a toy store or tell him for this entire year or the next 2 years, you can go to the toy store every month and spend $100. He's straight. So that's what, $2,400. I'm walking away with about $300,000 to $400,000. That's in the bank. Because all these people have schooled me because I do not want to be like them. To have it and have it this fall.
I want to be broke, but because my son is a little older than yours, the $100 a week might not work because the tennis shoes is going to eat that up right there.
Yeah.
But I have to say he's not a kid who wants stuff every 5 minutes. I have to be thankful for that.
No.
But I probably would have to, if I was going to do what you said about, for the, what did you say, $100 for the month?
It doesn't matter. You gave him $20,000.
Yeah, but I would break that up. I wouldn't just say, here's $20,000. I would give him an allowance. That $20,000 would be, after that $20,000 is gone from that allowance, I will give him an allowance with that $20,000.
He'll be like, Mom.
That's his money, but it will be an allowance coming out.
Like, Mom, can I have my money? No. You said you gave me 20 and it's in the bank.
It's an allowance.
How come I can't get it?
Mm-hmm. He got money in the bank now, he can't touch it.
Yeah, just put it all back. But it's wild how R. Kelly and many of these people, he's made almost $500 million.
But you gotta remember, all this money doesn't just go to R. Kelly. You got when these artists go out and they do concerts, right? And they sell out these halls or whatever they sell out. You gotta pay the dancers. You gotta pay the overhead. Mm-hmm. You gotta pay your road manager. You gotta pay your record label. It's a whole bunch of money that comes off the top.
Everybody gets their fee
before you get your money, right? So on paper, just like if you look me up and you see how much I get paid, you be like, that actually get paid a lot of money, but that's not what I bring home. You see what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
So it shows you what this person is worth, but that's not what they bringing home after you deduct all those deductions. That's why a lot of these groups or artists go broke, because people are not really reading to your contract of how much money you're supposed to get. If you don't read your contract to see what you get and the deductions that come out of it, let's say example TLC, they get gifts. We can go to all the artists that we know.
No, those gifts were loans.
Right, but at the time you didn't know that they were loans. You like, oh, I'm getting a gift, but you never got to see your bottom line figure. depending on if you knew about how contracts work.
Yeah, the points on their contracts were very low. I think they got 3 points or 5 points or something.
Yeah. So again, it might look like these people get paid a certain amount of money, but for real, they might not be getting it. I'm not sure about how R. Kelly's situation worked because he was just a single artist, meaning that he would get more money than if it was a group. But there's, again, he got to pay for the ladies that's in each
the videos. The videos
in each studio. So let me stop.
Right. You're right.
My point is, you got money you got to pay for. You got different
you
stuff
have you overhead, you have expenses.
Overhead, right, and expenses. So let's if you break down the overhead, the expenses, who you gotta pay. You gotta pay your entourage who you got around you. You gotta pay for flights, bus rides,
travel,
however you doing
all
these
your expenses.
Travel expenses, and you break all of that down and subtract. Then what's your bottom line? But it's unknown.
$400 million plus.
But this is my question. Does artists get cash money or do they use the black card? Because I always hear about that black card. And is that black card adding up what you spend and you can't really get cash?
Because the black card it adds up what you spend and there's no limit normally.
Okay.
So that means you can, no, it's not. That's what the black card means.
Okay,
but you have to pay it at the end of the month.
Thank you.
That's how it used to be set up.
My thing is with the black card, because I never hear artists, even in their music, they talk about the black card. I never hear them say that they can take money out with that black card.
Yeah, you can get cash advance. You can get cash advance in there.
My thing is,
but they're gonna tax you.
Is this your money? Is this your money? Is this really your money? Or is it the money of the people who own it?
It's supposed to be, if it comes to a black card, and we're not talking about the record label or whomever giving you a black card or an expense card to do whatever you want to do. Because either way you look at it, anything you use to purchase something with other than a debit card or cash is a loan. So even for us folks who aren't in the $400 million category or millionaires, any credit card we use, black card, red card, whatever, you had to pay the money back. So it's just a short-term loan, and the black card is supposed to be paid. They have different ones set up, but the basic one, you had to pay the balance after 30 days. So in that 30-day period, if you rack up $7 million, your bill is gonna be $7 million. But in order to get one, you have to have that earning potential and a nice amount of money already. Now, if you run out of that money and you charging up this card, then you're gonna owe American Express X amount of millions of dollars.
So does R. Kelly have a black card that he can use?
Hell no.
And to pay for his kids' expenses?
He would
used it out?
He would get out.
Not necessarily.
He would have bailed himself out with the card.
I doubt it.
You can use credit cards to bail out.
I doubt he would have did it for that.
You can't do anything inside. If you stacking that much money, you want to get the hell out.
Well, we'll really see if he's stacking up the money that they say he.
Oh, you think he has some money hidden?
I can't say. I mean, you never know.
He might have $300,000 invested somewhere.
He could.
Like Shayz on the mic.
Like Shayz on the mic. You're right. He need to liquidate.
And he needs to liquidate at least some of that to get his
that money
ass
so
out.
he can get himself out of jail. But you never know. If he got tapes hidden, he might get money hit.
Well, people, pay the IRS. Do not get caught up in a bunch of frivolous lawsuits that are going to drain your money. And don't waste your money on stupid stuff that depreciate the minute you purchase.
Get you a financial plan.
Or things that can be easily walked away with by somebody else. And make sure you get a good financial plan if you're going to get one, because some of them jack your money. I was just watching American Greed, and this lady was acting like a CPA. And she had all these clients, and she had all these IRS payments coming out of their accounts, but that's just the name that she put on the account. So her personal account was the IRS account. So they thought it was going to the IRS, but all the money was going to her personally. They're like, we done overpaid in taxes this year. No, because the tax man still came looking for them. We ain't getting no money. That money
you need
went
to check behind your folks. You can't take them as face value. You got to check behind people. Make sure what they say they're doing. Get some kind of receipt or check behind that person.
Was a white lady about
Tell me you're supposed to trust her 'cause she's white.
about 250 pounds. Next thing you know, she was at 110 pounds with blonde hair. All that money she put down for plastic surgery. And she looked like a totally different person than she did before she started scamming people. So nevertheless, watch your money, and if you earn a lot, make sure you don't spend a lot. You make a lot of money, you spend with some sense, or else you can get locked up on $1 million bail and not have 10% to get your ass out.
And make sure you put stuff in place. Put your money in certain things. IRAs, put your money in different things so you can make money.
So that's a future show. Shayz and the Mike is going to tell us how to invest money wisely.
Honestly, I didn't do too good this time with this.
Meanwhile, she's in arrears. She's in arrears, and I got to come help her out. Otherwise, all her money and her property is being garnished and trying to be taken by the tax man.
Yeah, luckily that's not really happening because Shayz on the mic makes sure she pays her IRS.
All right, we will see. Lyrics and Lies signing off.
Lies and lyrics.